Hello everyone, so now I'm going to explain the task 5.1P of embedded system. In this task, we were supposed to build a basic breadboard interface with the Raspberry Pi that allows us to turn on or off an LED by connecting the terminals of the LED to a GPIO pin on RPi. So now let's get started. First we will on our Raspberry Pi and then we'll open the VNC viewer, in which we would enter our host IP address, which I have already entered, and then the Raspberry Pi desktop would appear, and then we would create a new file named filename.py. Then for coding, we'll open the Genie IDE. It is a very lightweight code editor and is very well suited for coding on Raspberry Pi. Then we'll write our code, and for running our code, we'll open the Thorny IDE. As it is an easy to use interface and has debugging features. So for the hardware connections, the negative pin of the LED will go to the ground of the Raspberry Pi and the positive pin will go to the 10 of the Raspberry Pi. So first I'll explain the code. In the code, first we'll need to import rpi.gpio as GPIO for controlling the Raspberry Pi's GPIO pin and time for creating delays. Then we'll disable GPIO warnings to prevent any unnecessary warnings from being displayed. Then we'll set the GPIO pin numbering mode to board, which means we are using the physical pin numbers on Raspberry Pi header. Then we will set up GPIO pin 10 as an output pin and initialize it to a low state. Then we will use a try except block to handle exceptions. Then inside the loops, we have set up GPIO pin 10 to high, turning it on, and then wait for 1 second using the time.sleep. Then we have set GPIO pin 10 back to low, turning it off with 1 second interval. Inside the except.interrupt block, the GPIO configuration is cleaned up using GPIO.cleanup. This setup is essential to release the GPIO pins and reset them to their default state when the script is terminated. Now we will run the code. So now the LED is glowing.